friends, this is Katerina from the Evolution of Stitches. In this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to knit this beautiful pattern. This pattern creates these elongated stitches. As you can see, each repeat of the pattern creates this long stitch, and at the back side it creates these, let's say, squares of purl and knit stitches. It's a 3 stitches and 4 rows pattern. It's very easy, and you can use it in many projects like scarves, sweaters, or anything you can think of. But let's go. I have already cast on the number of stitches I need. Your number of stitches should be a multiple of 3 plus 1 for the edge. For this tutorial I am going to use 16 stitches, that is 15 stitches for the pattern plus 1 for the edge. I have cast on 18 stitches because I'm going to drop the last 2 when I finish the first row. So now we are ready to start knitting the first row. The first row is the right side of the pattern, and what I'm going to do is to first I will slip my first stitch onto the right needle because this is an edge stitch like this, and now I'm going to knit 1 and 1 more, so 2 stitches, and now I have reached the third stitch of the pattern. There are 3 stitches on my right needle, and now I need to knit this stitch. What I'll do is I'm going to insert the right needle onto the left needle, and now I'm going to use my thumb to wrap the yarn around the right needle for 3 times. And pull up all these loops like this. So here there are 3 loops, and I'm going to repeat. I am going to knit 2, 1, 2, and then I am going to insert my needle into this stitch and wrap the yarn around 1, 2, 3 times, and then pull these up through the stitch like this. So here again there are 3 more loops. Now I'm going to knit 2 like this, and again I'm going to insert my needle, wrap the yarn around 1, 2, 3 times, and pull up the loops. Knit 2, 1, 2, and insert the needle and wrap the yarn around the needle like this. Now I'm almost at the end of the row. As I said, I'm going to drop these 2 stitches. For the remaining 3 stitches I am just going to knit them. 1, 2, 3 stitches. If you didn't cast on in my way, so you don't need to drop your stitches. So now I have finished my first row of the pattern, and I'm ready to start the second row. So I'm ready to start my second row. This is the wrong side of the pattern. Now I'm going to slip the first stitch onto the right needle and knit the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. And now I'm at the stitch where there are 3 loops all together in the same stitch. What I will need to do first is that, because this is the wrong side of our work, I'm going to place the yarn here at the front of the needle, and now I'm going to insert my needle onto the stitch and slip all the loops from the needle in this way. Now there is this long loop on my needle, and again I'm going to knit 2, 1, 2. Now again I'm at the stitch where there are 3 loops. Again I need to place the yarn at the front and slip all these loops off the needle in this way. Again I'm going to knit 2, 1, 2. Be careful always. The working yarn on the second row should be at the front facing you, because you need to have these yarn at the back of the work. So now again I'm going to slip all the stitches off the needle, and I'm going to knit 1, 2 stitches, place the yarn at the front, slip all the stitches off the needle, and I have reached the end of the second row. There are 3 stitches here. I am going to just knit these stitches, and in this way I have finished the second row of the wrong side of the pattern. Now I'm ready to start the third row. As you can see, there are these elongated stitches where we wrap the yarn around the needle. Now I'm ready to start the third row on the right side of the pattern. First I'm going to slip my first stitch. Now I'm going to purl 2 stitches, 1, 2, and now this is my long stitch. What I need to do is, you have to be careful with this, the working yarn should be at the back, and you just slip the stitch onto the right needle. Then you bring the yarn at the front and you purl the next 2 stitches. So here again the working yarn should be at the back, because we want the strands of yarn to be at the back side of our project. So I have slipped the stitch onto my needle and I'm purling 2 stitches. Again the working yarn at the back, I'm slipping the stitch onto the right needle and I'm purling 2 stitches. Here again the same, and I'm here at the 3 last stitches, which I'm going to purl. 2, 3. Now I'm ready to start my 4th row, which is the last row of the pattern. What I'm going to do is slip the first stitch, purl the next 2. This is my long stitch, which I'm going to slip onto the needle. The yarn should be at the front here, and now I'm going to purl 2 stitches, slip the next stitch, the long stitch, onto the right needle with the yarn here, and purl the next 2 stitches. This is my long stitch, which I'm going to slip, purl the next 2, slip the long stitch, and the last 3 stitches I'm just going to purl. 1, 2, 3 stitches. And in this way I have finished one repeat of the pattern. This is a 3 stitches and 4 rows pattern. Now I'm ready to start from the beginning all over again. What I will do is I will slip the first stitch, and now I'm going to knit the next two, 1, 2, and here on the long stitch I'm going to insert my needle and wrap the yarn around 1, 2, 3 times and pull it up like this. Again I'm going to knit 2, 1, 2. I'm going to insert my needle into the long stitch and wrap the yarn 1, 2, 3 times. This is the first one, so like this. There must be three loops in the long stitch, and again knit 2 and insert my needle 1, 2, 3 times like this, and now again I'm going to knit 2, insert my needle into this loop 1, 2, 3 times, and I have reached the last 3 stitches, which I am going to knit 1, 2, 3. So in this way I have finished the first row of the second repeat of the pattern. Now I'm going to knit the second row of the second repeat. What I'll do again is, first I'm going to slip the first stitch, I am going to knit the 2 stitches. Here on the long stitch I am going to bring the working yarn at the front and slip these loops from the needle, and now again I'm going to knit 2 stitches. Now again the yarn should be at the front, but this is the back side of the pattern, and slip these loops off the needle. And now I'm going to knit 2 stitches. Slip, again the yarn should be at the front. Now I'm going to slip the stitches off the needle and knit 2 stitches. Again I'm slipping all the loops off the left needle to the right needle, and there are 3 stitches left which I'm going to knit 1, 2, 3 stitches. And in this way I have finished the second row of the second repeat. As you can see, in this way we create these long loops between the other stitches. Now I'm ready to start the third row of the second repeat. I'm slipping the first stitch, I'm purling the next 2. Now the yarn should be at the back. I'm slipping the long stitch onto the right needle. I'm bringing the working yarn at the front. I'm purling 2, 1, 2. Again the yarn should be at the back. I'm slipping the long loop onto my needle, onto my right needle. I'm purling 2 stitches, 1, 2. I'm placing the yarn at the back. I'm slipping the stitch onto the right needle, 1, 2 stitches. Again at the back, the working yarn should be at the back. Slipping the stitch and purling the last 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. Now I am going to knit the last row, the fourth row of the second repeat. I'm slipping the first stitch, I'm purling the next two. Now the working yarn should be here at the front, which meaning that in this way it's at the back of the pattern. I'm slipping the long stitch, purling two, 1, 2, slipping the long stitch, purling two, 1, 2, slipping the long stitch, the yarn is always here at the back, purling two, and now again I'm slipping the long stitch and purling the last 3 stitches, 1, 2, and the last one. And in this way I have finished 2 repeats of the pattern. This is the pattern, as you can see. I think it's a beautiful pattern. You can use it with for many projects. So please let me knit a few more repeats and I will get back to you. So I have knitted 4 repeats of the pattern, meaning that I have knitted 16 rows in total. So this is the way we knit this long stitch pattern. I hope you liked my tutorial. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would love to read your comments. Thanks for watching and bye for now. Bye.